In the heart of the dense, fog-laden backwoods of Vermont, there lies an old highway, a remnant of times long past. This highway, Route Interstate 121, is whispered about in hushed tones in small-town diners and truck stops, a place where the living dare not tread after dusk. But our story begins on one particularly bleak evening, as the last light of day surrenders to the encroaching darkness. The highway was notorious for one ghost, the dead hitchhiker. Legend has it that he was a young man killed in a horrific accident decades ago when his car swerved off the road, wrapping itself around an ancient oak tree. His body was never found, or so the story goes, but his spirit lingered, bound to the highway by an insatiable grudge. On this night, Jack, a weary traveler, was driving through, his eyes heavy with the need for sleep, but his mind set on reaching his destination. His radio had given up the ghost hours ago, leaving him with nothing but the monotonous hum of his tires against the asphalt. The fog was thick, almost tangible, like a living entity that wrapped around his vehicle, blurring his vision and muffling sounds. Suddenly, through the ghostly veil of fog, Jack saw him. A figure standing by the side of the road, thumb out, seeking a ride. His clothes were tattered, his face pale and expressionless, but there was something undeniably eerie about him. Despite the prickling fear at the back of his neck, Jack's heart tugged with the human instinct to help. He slowed down, rolled to a stop, and the hitchhiker approached. The air turned colder as the ghost climbed into the passenger seat. Jack, trying to shake off the chill, attempted conversation, but the hitchhiker only stared ahead, silent, his eyes hollow. The car moved forward, the fog seeming to thicken, the world outside the windows becoming a void of white. Then Jack noticed something in the rearview mirror. His own car, empty, was following him, its headlights piercing through the fog like eyes of a predator. Panic set in. He tried to speed up, to escape, but the road twisted, the landscape unfamiliar, as if the highway itself was conspiring against him. The hitchhiker finally spoke, his voice a rasp from beyond. "This road leads nowhere but to my end, and now yours." The car began to shake, the engine sputtered, and then, with a scream of metal, it veered off the road, crashing into the same old oak tree. But when local authorities arrived the next morning, alerted by an anonymous call, they found Jack's car wrapped around the tree, empty. No sign of Jack or the ghostly hitchhiker. From that day on, the legend grew. More travelers disappeared, each one who had the misfortune of stopping for the dead hitchhiker. With each new victim, the fog seemed to grow denser, and the legend of Route 666 whispered more insistently in the wind, a warning to all who would dare to travel its haunted stretch. Do not stop for the dead man on the road, or you might join him in his eternal journey of vengeance.